New events live? What? No way. Didn't know that was a thing. That's just kind of part of it. It's not for everybody. Oh. But that's just the reality, is it not? Here we are, and here we're not. Live. Boom, 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 boom. Eric, welcome. Ugh. Banana. 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 Eric, happy birthday. Oh, you're so very welcome. Have you had a good birthday so far? Hello, Mike Phelps. Welcome. Wow, wow, wow. Really need to take the time to get this fixed, because this should not, I shouldn't have to have two computers at the same time for this to work. But I know the fix. I'm just being lazy, not wanting to do it. No, this is promises we keep part 3. Yeah, why didn't that update? Doesn't look updated. Says right there, part 2. I'll see you say in part 2. Whatever. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that, Eric. Alexander. Hi. Welcome. Oh. Okay. I actually think I'm going to take off my hoodie because it is warm in here. It's warm in my office. Give me just a moment and then we will get started with the next part of this story. Alrighty. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, chicka, boom, boom. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Alexander, thank you. You're very sweet. Boom. Where did that chat go? So I can send this to him. Well, I guess he already has it. Alright. Did I do the Rafi ending? What are you talking about? I've never played this before. We're currently playing it right now, Red. So, welcome everybody. So, hey everybody, welcome to Storytime with FaZe. We are continuing through Promises to Keep. We are now on part 3, aka our third live of this game. Things to keep in mind is when I'm going through the story, I'm not keeping up with the chat very well. I will do my best as we go through the story, but I will call on you, the audience, when it comes to spots where we have to make choices, or when we meet new characters and we need to do a new voice for a character. I will call on your assistance in how we go forward with their new voice. So, if y'all are ready, here we go. Let's get started. Why are there multiple endings, Red? I'm sure there are. I mean, that's the kind of thing it is. Alright. Rafian pauses, and the room goes quiet again. I can't help but think about what he said earlier. At some point, he just had to live his life. I wondered what adventures he went on after I left in middle school. I could spend hours catching up with him like this. Over the course of our gaming, we shifted closer, and now I feel him start to lean against me a little. Before I know it, his head is fully on my shoulder. I don't say anything at first, though I can feel a slight blush creep across my face. Our lives are so different now, but his fur still feels so familiar. I see him glancing at me out the corner of my eye, and hear him giggle again. Soft, right? Huh? Yeah. It's like I remember. Shit. He could definitely feel my face warming up. Yeah? Hello, DMY. Welcome, welcome. Sensing weakness, Rafi starts rubbing his cheek against my shoulder, distracting me with his impressively velvety fur. I make a critical mistake, and the match goes to Rafi. DMY, question of the day happens after Storytime with FaZe, so that will take place in about an hour and 45 minutes. I make a critical mistake, and the match goes to Rafi. Hey, come on! You totally did that on purpose. Sneaky dog. I give him a playful swat, and he lifts his head off my shoulder. You said it was just like you remember. All good memories, I hope. Most of them, yeah. We used to do this all the time. Yeah, but we would usually be lying down. Ooh. He flips over onto his belly and looks up at me expectantly. Like this. You gonna join me? Ooh. What should we do, chat? Do we lay next to Rafi? Or belly flop? Which one? Already got one vote for belly flop. Oh, and Eric ties it out. Oh, and DMY says belly flop. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice? Alright, we're gonna belly flop. He recognizes the glimmer of mischief in my eyes, but doesn't react fast enough. I flop on top of him, belly first. Oof! I let out a muffled laugh. His fur feels so soft, even through his shirt. Can I get a heads up next time? What? We used to do this all the time as kids, too. Oh, Eric, you're silly. Yeah, but we don't weigh the same as we did back then. Ouch. Are you calling me heavy? Who knows? Maybe I am. Well, if you hate it so much, I could just get off of you. No, it's okay. You can stay where you are if you're cozy. He's so predictable. He always enjoyed being my makeshift pillow. Every once in a while, I need the fluff right below his neck, earning a few earths from the dog. He clearly still loves that too. Once again, it hits me just how easily we were picking up where we left off. All thanks to him, really. Ralphie could always warm up a room. He doesn't need to fill his living space with decorations or personal belongings. He breathes life into a place just by being himself. My earlier worries feel silly now. At his core, he's still Ralphie. He's just figured out who he is a bit more. As we continue playing, I start to lose track of time, lost in the game, and lost in memory. Despite the circumstances, the many years we spent apart, I feel safe with Ralphie. I'm so cozy. The last thing I think of before drifting off is that I have to get better at this game to beat him next time we hang out. Hey, Captain America, thank you so much for the follow. I slowly stir awake, music still playing, and the first thing I see is Ralphie breathing softly in his sleep. I realize that I'm still laying on top of him, with my paws wrapped around his upper body. I really was using him like a pillow. He stirs a little in my arms. So warm. Wait, why am I so warm? He blinks his eyes open to meet mine. Oh, so you're the culprit. I chuckle and slowly shift myself off him, earning a soft whine from the dog. But I was so cozy. Sorry, looks like we dozed off. No kidding! I guess it's been a long day already. Well, were you cozy too? I was a good pillow. Yes, just like how I remember. But, sorry, I didn't mean to initiate anything without you being aware. He waves a paw dismissively, fluffy tail wagging behind him. Oh, it's fine. I've been snuggle deprived recently, but anyway. I'm starving. Wonder what's for dinner? Great question. I'm sure they're figuring out something downstairs. Let's say that again. Great question. I'm sure they're figuring out something downstairs. Maybe we can help. Race you down there! The dog zooms past me, throwing the door open and disappearing into the hallway. I'll have to catch up to him again. I run into Theo on the way down the stairs. Rafi's still nowhere to be seen. Oh, FaZe, I'm getting your air mattress set up right now. Sorry about the wait. I meant to do this earlier, but I just haven't had time to think today. If you don't mind, I think I'll get you settled in the den. You can close the door and get some privacy when you want. That sounds great, Theo. Thank you. Hey, tell you what, if you want, you can head down to the kitchen. There's snacks in the pantry and beer in the fridge. Still need to figure out what dinner will look like, so please help yourself for now. Rafi should be down there now if you want to help join him. Before I respond, I hear Hunter's voice from down the hallway. Yo, did someone say snacks? We hear a woof of excitement and the sound of a fridge door closing. Sounds like someone got into the stash already. A starry-eyed Rafi appears at the foot of the stairwell, canned drinks in one arm and an assortment of colorful chip bags in the other. Theo, you didn't tell me we had all these cool flavors of soda and chips. I can't pick. His puppy eyes come out again. Theo sighs, but he can't hold back a small smile. Well, feel free to try them all. I've been having trouble getting through my hoard of junk food anyway. Rafi's tail starts wagging faster. If that was even possible. Whoa, really? There's no way you can find these by yourself. There's no way you can finish these by yourself. I can tell Hunter wants in on the snacks too. I'm sure there's more than enough for all of you. Why don't you guys go out a bit while I figure out dinner? Thank you, Theo. I love you. Rafi bounds up the stairs in a flash. Sweet. Thanks, Theo. Hey, chat. So this game is Promises to Keep. Hunter does a two-fingered salute to Theo before hopping up the stairs after Rafi. Though Theo shakes his head, his smile and swishing tail reveals that he's quite pleased with Rafi and Hunter's indulgence. He turns to face me again. Dragon Pilot, this is a safe for work visual novel. He turns to face me again. Not gonna join them, FaZe? Nah. I think I'll hang out in the kitchen and wait for dinner. I don't really want to fight those two for snacks anyway. I have a sneaking suspicion I'd lose. Aw, you're all good, Dragon. If you say so, I'll go fetch your air mattress and get it set up. It'll just be a minute. Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Theo. My pleasure. We pass one another and I head off to the kitchen, breathing a quiet sigh of relief. Normally, I'd be anxious in a situation like this. Depending on his generosity, meeting new people in an unfamiliar place. But Theo, something about him puts me at ease. Maybe it's the sense that he really doesn't expect anything in return. But from the way he talks, he makes it sound like I'm doing him a favor by staying here. The kitchen is spacious but comfortable, lived in but not cluttered or claustrophobic. My eyes are immediately drawn to the big windows looking out into the small backyard space. Well, they would be showing off the backyard if the snow and ice hadn't rendered them almost fully opaque. I settled down at the big kitchen table and watched the weather try to get in. Frosty fingers sliding down the fragile panes of glass. It isn't long before Theo comes back with 2 folding chairs and starts to set them up. As I watch him work, I absent-mindedly rub the old table's surface, my paw pads finding curves and divots impressed into the wood. I trace the path of what feels like a cursive letter T, then an H. Peering more closely, I see the telltale marks of many words, crisscrossing and folding over one another across the matte surface. Yeah, those are what you think they are. He cracks open a beer and he talks. This was my aunt's house. I used to come here growing up and do my homework. Sorry about that. Yeah, this is my aunt's house. I used to come here growing up and do my homework at this very table. I would always press down really hard when doing cursive, and the pencil marked up the surface through the paper. Aw, thank you, wonderful. Aunt, my mind drifts back to the photo in the stairwell. Theo and an older Arctic fox. He sits down in a seat across from me, and the old wooden chair produces a loud creak. But that was centuries ago, of course. I understand kids these days aren't even learning cursive anymore. Kids these days? He's kidding, right? Theo's eyes twinkle mischievously, clearly watching me for a reaction. Hey, I still had to learn it. It turned out to be useful. No. Hey, we're gonna start that over again. Hey, I still had to learn it. It turned out to be useless, of course. But I bet I spent just as much time on it as you did. And a fat lot of good it did us. I always thought it was a waste of time, too. Theo snaps his fingers and stands again. Right, dinner. Can't expect everyone to be happy with just soda and chips. Let's see. He starts rummaging through the fridge and cupboards. I hope simple food is okay with you. I'm decent in the kitchen, but... At that moment, Artemis walks carefully through the doorway, 3 paper bags balanced precariously in his grip. He has the juggling skills of an expertised waiter. Hi, Lizard. Welcome, Lizard. Aw, thank you. You don't have to pass by if you want to stay and hang out. What's all this? Some groceries from my place. No point in letting it all rot. Oh, right. Yeah. Wherever you can find room in the fridge. Artemis nods at me in greeting, then begins rummaging around in the bags. Green vegetables, fresh herbs, a bag of apples. Good timing, too. I was just starting to prep for dinner. Artemis shakes his head, his sharp eyes flittering around the kitchen. No, I expect you to let me cook tonight, Theo. It's the least I can do to repay you. Theo blinks, somewhat taken aback. For a moment, he seems about to object. Then he breaks into a warm smile and settles back into his chair with another creak. That's an offer I'll gladly accept. To be honest, cooking for 6 was the one thing I was worried about. I make a mean dinner for one, but anything past that... He chuckles softly, shaking his head. Where do you keep your spices? The bird pulls a couple containers out of the smallest bag. Garlic powder, paprika, pepper, and a few others that I didn't recognize. I feel a pang of guilt at the sight. If I hadn't been ready to leave town, I'd have some food to contribute too. Just as Theo starts to answer, Hunter strides into the kitchen, an open chip bag in one paw and phone in the other. He walks up to me and holds out both. Here, Faze. Put your number in. I'm starting a group chat. Also, have a chip if you want. Oh, sure. No problem. As I'm typing in my number, he turns to Theo and rattles the bag. These chips are amazing. Let's do that again. These chips are amazing, Theo. You gotta tell me where you get these sometime. Theo gives him a thumbs up and takes another swig of his beer. I had Hunter... I gotta start over. I got distracted. Theo gives him a thumbs up and takes another sip of his beer. I hand Hunter back his phone. I'm honestly not sure how much of a group chat will be... I'm honestly not sure how much a group chat will get used, but whatever. You too as well. You too as well. I mean, we'll all be stuck in the same house. Do we really need a group chat? Why not? Just in case. Here, Theo. As soon as Theo finishes, Hunter plucks the phone out of his paw and walks it over to Artemis. Come on, please. Artemis takes the phone after a long moment of Hunter waving it in his face. Just please don't message it without a good reason. I hate getting tons of notifications. Yeah, I hear ya. Anyway, let me go find Ollie. He marches out of the room at a considerable clip. Does he always move this fast? He could get Rafi a run for his money. Not 30 seconds later, all of our phones buzz. Artemis lets out a theoretical sigh. What did I just say? Theo and I laugh in unison. The bird shakes his head disapprovingly and resumes rifling around in the fridge. Lizard, who is my favorite character so far? Probably a toss-up between Rafi and Theo. Who's your favorite character? Hey, Artemis, I can give you a hand if you want. I realize 6 is a lot of people to cook for. He regards me for a split second, then shakes his head. It's really no problem. I like to cook. You can just sit and relax. Hello, Ritu. Welcome. Alrighty, chat. This is up to you. What should we do? Should we cook with Artemis? Or relax with Theo? What should we do? Ooh, Eric says relax. The birthday boy says relax. Bum 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 bum. Lizard says cook with Artemis. Redo, come on, which one? Oh. Do I get a chance? Do I get to vote? I think I'm gonna give this one to Eric. Um, I think birthday boy like counts for like 5 people, so I'm gonna go with relax with Theo. Bum bum bum. Bah. Okay, if you're sure, thanks a lot. To be honest, I'm not sure how much help I'd be anyway. Like I said, it's really no problem. The bird begins busying himself with the various kitchen implements, quickly making himself at home in the unfamiliar space. His moves are practiced, fluid, at ease. I have a feeling that dinner is going to be delicious. By the way, FaZe. I turn my attention back to the fox. Let me know if you still need anything from your place. I'm happy to go back with you to pick up anything extra you might want. I had planned to run another sweep of the neighborhood tomorrow anyway. Oh, are there still folks on our street who are stuck? I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure. I got most of the houses today, but there's still a few I need to make sure about. Also, I promised the folks in number 90 that I'd check back in with them tomorrow. Theo. He must be looking after every house on the block. His tired eyes take on new meaning now. Well, if that's the case, I should be offering to help you, not the other way around. If one of our neighbors needs an extra hand, you'll let me know, right? That I'll do. That's right, our neighbors. The people we live next to, spend our days and nights next to, but barely ever interact with. The city makes it so easy to forget about them. Well, for me at least. Apparently not for Theo. He jumped right into action to help them. Apparently not for Rafi either. I realized with a pang of guilt, or Hunter, or Artemis and Ollie. Hey Lizard, thank you so much for the follow. I hope you have a great rest of your day. They all seem to know each other already, or at least were quick to settle in with each other. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only one who's learned to shut people out like this. That's not a very comforting thought. Time to change the subject. By the way, I don't think I've said yet, but I love your house. It's so big, but surprisingly cozy. Theo finishes his swig of beer and nods graciously. Well, thank you very much. Like I said, though, this was my aunt's place first. She did most of the hard work. Most of the furniture was hers. She picked out the wallpaper and paint colors. He trails off, eyes wandering, then seems to snap back to attention. Some of it is just my doing, though. I'd added some knickknacks and talk. I don't know what that word is. Oh. I've added some knickknacks and tchotchkes. Some more art on the wall, some plants. That reminds me, I've got to water the ones in the den tomorrow. With all the excitement today, I completely forgot. Oh, I'd love to get a lot. Oh, I'd love to get a look at those plants, if you don't mind. Theo nods, takes another swig of beer, and rises from his creaking chair. Then allow me to show you. I suppose I might as well water them now anyway. I suppose it wouldn't hurt for you to see where you'll be sleeping, too. Okay. I glance back at Artemis, and it seems like he's doing five things at once. A pot full of potatoes are boiling on the stove, and he's making some last-minute adjustments to a salad. A savory aroma wafts from the oven as he tastes the dressing he made. Artemis, this smells great, by the way. Food tends to do that. You two go do whatever you like. I've got things under control here. I thank him, then follow Theo to a corner of the kitchen. He opens up a cabinet, then halts and turns back to me, a little sheepishly. The, watering can was always my aunt's. Was also my aunt's. Alright. When he removes it from the cabinet, I see why he felt the need to specify. The can is in the shape of a little purple elephant with big sparkly eyes and itty-bitty rounded tusks. Its trunk, of course, the spout. Fucking adorable. Oh my god, I love it. Look at its little tusks. Theo still looks a little embarrassed, but he laughs in response. He sure is something, huh? Artemis, do you mind if I use the sink real quick? The focused bird looks up from chopping carrots and shakes his head. Please do. Theo strides over to the sink and starts to fill the little elephant with water. He doesn't actually hold that much water, but... His voice waves a little, looking down at the can. How could I replace him? I could never, if he were mine. Theo nods and clears his throat quietly. Okay. That's about as much as he'll take. We start, of course, with this little guy. Theo walks over to the lone kitchen plant and gives him a generous dose of water. I got him pretty recently. Felt like the kitchen needed a little extra something. I don't usually keep it this clean, if I'm being honest. There we go. The den is this way. We file out of the kitchen, down a short hallway, and through some double doors into the den. It's smaller than the other rooms, with a large air mattress taking up a good chunk of the floor space. Aside from that, the den houses only a couple cozy-looking chairs. I noticed several small potted plants on a table against the wall. I recognized 2 different kinds of succulents, and then some other green things. My knowledge of houseplants is less than stellar. Just a few, you know. And I'm not the type to keep big ones with lots of soil and all that mess. What about the ones in the living room? Theo laughs a little embarrassed. Oh, those are fake. I like the idea of having plants, but didn't want to have to take care of them. So, as he speaks, he begins to gently water the largest plant. From where I'm standing, the little elephant is looking right at me. These guys, he points to the succulents. He points to the succulents. Just get a little bit. Obviously, not very often. Glad I remembered though. They look a little thirsty today. I hadn't pegged Theo as a plant dad, but looking at how gently and carefully he handles them, it makes perfect sense. This is really nice space. This is a really nice space, I say, looking around, taking in the details for the first time. A full bookshelf, 2 little side tables next to each of the chairs, and leather-bound volume lying open on one of the cushions. Seems like an excellent place to read. Best seat in the house. Though I haven't made much use of it lately. My reading has really slipped this year. Barely got through 5 books. Judging from the width of most of the titles on the shelf, that still seems impressive to me. There we go, he says, topping off the final plant with the remains of the can. He can have a little extra today, as a treat. Oh! He snaps his fingers. There's one more in my bedroom, too. If you want to see, she also needs a bit of water today. Sure, lead the way. Sure, lead the way. Ooh. We're going to Theo's bedroom. Oh my gosh. Theo leads me upstairs and down the hall to the master bedroom. Once we enter, he makes his way over to a medium-sized hanging plant suspended from the ceiling in one of the corners. And here she is. Give me just a sec. I'm gonna fill this little guy up again. He taps the little elephant, then heads through a door into what must be a bathroom. I take a look around the room, a little sheepishly at first. It's okay, I tell myself. He clearly doesn't mind you being in here. Theo's room is neatish. That's probably the best word to describe it. The bed is made, but the blankets and pillows are a little crooked. The nearby desk is completely covered with papers and manila folders, but all efficiently stacked and organized. The walk-in closets are wide open, revealing a forest of similar-looking clothes. I definitely see 2 or 3 copies of the exact outfit he's wearing right now. That also makes sense for Theo, I noted. When it comes to fashion, he's very copy-paste. Here we go. He emerges from the bathroom, full elephant in tow. Thanks for letting me give a little impromptu tour. I'm proud of this house and I like showing it off to people. I'm not surprised. It's a lovely place, really. Welcome, Trevor. Yeah, he says simply. His eyes once again travel elsewhere. Yeah, it is. The tone of his voice changes completely. Deeper, more husky. He starts to water the hanging plant gently, moving its leaves aside for better access. You know, it really is my pleasure to get some use of it too. To see it full again. It's been a while since. At that moment, water begins to pour out of the hanging pot onto the floor, and Theo lets out a yelp of surprise. Oh, fuck, shit! I always overwater this one. Just give me a sec. I race into the bathroom and grab a towel. As I return, I see Theo trying and failing to catch the downpour in his cupped paws. Here, I got it. I drop to the floor and start to mop up the spill. It's not that much, really, and the fluffy towel soaks it up nicely. Sorry, Faze. I'm such a klutz. Must be my advanced age. He laughs then, full and hearty. paws still dripping with water, and I can't help but join in. Here, old man. I offer him the towel to dry his paws. Good thing you've got us youngsters around, huh? Yeah, indeed. Theo puts on his best old man voice as he takes the towel. And you youngsters are welcome back here anytime for any reason. But for now, I think we should probably head back to the kitchen. Just in case Artemis needs my help with anything. Probably shouldn't have left him to fend for himself, actually. Fair enough. He seems like he knows what he's doing, though. Judging from the smell around wafting through the house, he was making miracles down there. As I take one last look around the bedroom, my thoughts catch up with me. All of this was happening so fast. Less than 24 hours ago, I was on my way out of this place. I was excited to file onto a plane and leave this frozen city behind. Less than 24 hours ago, I was gearing up for another quiet night alone in my dusty apartment. Just me, my phone, and my endless rolling thoughts. And now, I have an open invitation to Theo's house and Rafi, and I still have so much more to catch up on. I'm sure that dog will force me to accompany him for a walk when the weather clears up. Not that I'd mind, of course. It seemed almost surreal. I'm pulled back to reality once we reach the stairwell. As we descend past the myriad collection of photos, my curiosity gets the better of me. Hey, Theo. Is this you and your aunt? I point to the photo that caught my eye earlier. Theo's 17th birthday, 2005. Yeah. Me and Aunt MJ. Theo's voice turns wistful, and his eyes unfocused. She was always so good to me. My 17th was the best birthday I ever had. I watched him relive the day in his head. I'm assuming she bought you that car? That's a pretty sweet gift. Yep. And I totaled it a few days after. His voice turns bitter without warning, and the mood sours at once. We hang in uncomfortable silence for only a moment before his eyes refocus and he drags his mouth back into the now familiar Theo smile. But anyway, that was a long time ago. I won't bore you with all the stories. Let's not keep Artemis waiting, huh? Yeah. Listen, Theo, I didn't mean to. He waves his paw to cut me off. No, don't apologize. You didn't do anything wrong. Come on, I'm sure we're needed in the kitchen. I'm sure we're needed in the kitchen. He turns and strides purposefully down the stairs, and I hurry after him to catch up. The eyes in the photos seem to follow us as we go. Artemis looks up as we enter, clearly ready to delegate a task. Theo, I'd appreciate it if you could help set the table. He considers for a moment. I suppose we don't all have to eat in the same place at the same time, but it would be nice. Koro, the drag racer, hi and welcome. Well, this is my house, and I say we do have to. Theo says playfully, a twinkle in his eye. At least for the first night. Help us all settle in with each other. Artemis nods in response. Agreed. FaZe, would you mind fetching the others for dinner? Sure. If you have trouble with Ollie, just come get me. I'll extract him from his room. He's probably built quite the nest already. Koro, I am doing really, really well. How are you doing? Gotcha. I head up the stairs and towards Ollie's room. I find the door open and I peek in to see Ollie still fussing with cables. Still, it's been hours. Just how much stuff did he bring? I knock softly on the door frame, and the studious dino jumps in surprise. Oh! Oh, FaZe, it's you! Oh wait, I can't remember what voice we did for this character. Shoot. Sorry, I was just rearranging some things here and... can I help you? I don't remember if that was it. You're fine. I didn't mean to startle you. Artemis is done making dinner and sent me to collect everybody. Oh, Artemis made dinner? Artemis made dinner? I don't remember. Ollie lets out a bark of laughter, high and clear. I don't remember. Just a few hours in the door. There it is. Just a few hours in the door and already taken over the kitchen. Isn't it a bit early to... He checks his phone and his eyebrows shoot up. Oh, wow. I didn't realize it was late already. Guess I've been fiddling around up here for a while. He looks around at the mess of electronics and wires and seems to remember his shyness. Oh, sorry about the mess. And I know I made a scene earlier. I made you and the others carry all my stuff. And demeanor totally changed. The apologies start pouring out of him. I hold up my paws to cut him off. Hey, whoa. It's okay. I didn't mind at all. I should be apologizing. I almost dropped that one box. No, it's my fault, really. I should have carried it myself. We both laugh a bit awkwardly at our mutual apology standoff. Well, regardless of whose fault it is, I like what I've seen in your setup so far. Any chance you'd let me take a closer look once it's all properly assembled? Ollie brightens immediately. Absolutely. Should be done by tonight. Oh, that is, if you don't have plans already. My stomach chooses that moment to growl loudly. Apparently, I'm focused on dinner first. Ollie's stomach responds, and his cheeks go red. Me too, I forgot. I hadn't eaten anything today. I blink in alarm. Nothing at all since this morning? You're going downstairs to eat some dinner right now. I remember with a pang of irony that I also hadn't eaten anything today. Well, Ollie doesn't need to know that. I have to collect Rolfie and Hunter, but I'll see you in the kitchen. Okay. The only thing is, I have to finish up a few things here first, or I'll never know where I left off. I'll be done soon, I promise. Okay, you'd better. See you. I leave Ollie to take his work I leave Ollie to his work and walk down the hall to Rolfie's room. I hear the sound of video games and voices before I even reach the open door. Guess they're both here. The two of them are sprawled in front of the TV, Rolfie hunched over his controller, Hunter spread out flat on his belly, foot paws kicking the air. Looks like they're playing a racing game. A devious smile spreading across my face. I called loudly from the doorway. "Don't mess up!" Rolfie yelps and jumps, clearly an impressive height, and his cart flies right off the map into the abyss. "Face! That's not fair! No, that doesn't count!" Hunter bursts into raucous laughter. As he crosses the finish line and triumphant music plays. I dodge a hastily thrown pillow, holding back the giggle myself. "It's dinner time, you guys. Artemis made food for all of us." "Oh, sick!" The raccoon pulls himself up off the floor and discards his controller. "Oh, what did he make?" "No idea, but it smells delicious. We'll see when we get down there." "Well, what are we standing around here for?" "Let's go!" We make another stop at Ollie's room to remind him about dinner. And then all four of us start heading to the kitchen, following our noses and growling stomachs, enjoying the smell wafting through the house. The cavalry has arrived. Artemis looks up from the stove, scans down the line until he sees Ollie, then nods at me a silent thank you. "There you all are. So, we're going to start with salad and breadsticks, obviously." "Obviously? How much food did he make?" "Then the main course is baked sea bass, potato puree and carrots on the side. I hope I made enough for everybody. And before we begin, let me apologize. This isn't my best work." "Bro, what do you mean? It smells delicious." It certainly does, and at the moment, I'm hungry enough not to care what it is. There's something about the smell of good food that just makes everyone feral. I could have done better with higher quality ingredients and more time, but this will do. "Artemis, I'm sure it's delicious, and regardless, we're all grateful for it." Theo's reply is reassuringly warm, voicing the group's opinion at large. "Well, I warned you. Here, line up with the plates and I'll serve." Plate by plate, Artemis creates gorgeous-looking dishes for everyone, and before long, all 6 of us are sitting around the kitchen table, digging in. Everything was spectacular, of course. Sometimes it really feels like the quality of the food is directly proportional to how much the chef complains about it. "Artemis, this is so delicious!" "It's decent, but I'll do better tomorrow night." Artemis looks pointedly at Theo. "You'll let me cook tomorrow too, right?" Theo laughs, covering his mouth with a paw, and waits to finish chewing. "Artemis, you're free to cook. Artemis, you're free to make dinner for me whenever you'd like." "Easy there, Grandpa. That wasn't an open invitation." I take a moment to look around the table at my new housemates. I can basically see the stars in Rolfie's eyes as he shovels down his food. As I expected, he still eats like a maniac. Hunter, however, is giving him a serious run for his money. The two of them create an honestly hilarious tableau. Yeah. Both so intense and focused on their dinner. I can't help but giggle a bit, watching them eat. Hunter looks up from his plate for a second. Hey! Hey, what are you laughing at, FaZe? Nothing. It's just fun to watch you two eat. Agreed. You haven't got anywhere to be, you know. Take your time, savor it. Rafi and Hunter shake their heads in unison and return to their serious work. Looking over at Ollie, I can see that he's also enamored, but in a different way. The dino's eyes are soft and thoughtful. His lip curled into a slight smile as he takes small, deliberate bites. I know his expressions well. If he were a cat, he'd be purring loudly right now. I get it. At the moment, I'm struggling to hold back my own purrs. Despite his cool veneer, Artemis' eyes are flicking around the table, clearly gauging everyone's reactions to the food. Theo seems ecstatic, but in his usual quiet way. I know he's enjoying the food from the way he looks around the table. It seems he's enjoying the company more. I think back to the moment on the stairs, the look in his eyes, the hitch in his voice. Dinner progresses with little talk, all of us firmly occupied with our plates. As things start to wind down, Artemis sets down his fork and stands. You all better have room for dessert. I didn't slave away over a hot stove for my work to go unappreciated. Dessert? I have never seen someone so excited in my life. Artemis gets up and makes his way to the oven. He swings the door open carefully, and we're all greeted by the warm scents of cinnamon and vanilla. I can practically feel the table vibrate with anticipation as Artemis extracts the dish and brings it to us. He sets it down, but before anyone moves, he speaks up. Hold up. Now, don't get any ideas. I have to grab the glaze first. None of us had noticed the small pot still simmering on the stove. He uncovers it, brings it over, and starts drizzling the sticky glaze over the dessert. Then he sets the pot down and starts dividing dessert into slices. Koro, this is promises to keep. A thump-thump sound breaks the silence, and we look over to Rafi, whose tail is beating against his seat in anticipation. The table breaks out in laughter, minus Rafi, still laser focused on Artemis movements. The bird smiles and generously gives him the first plate. So, we have a pretty simple bread pudding for dessert, topped with a sweet bourbon drizzle. I don't do dessert supper often, but I hope this Artemis's introduction is interrupted by a gasp from Rafi. This is so yummy! Seems like you have a verdict, Artemis. Let's eat before it gets cold. Some light chatter happens during dessert, but everyone is mostly focused on the sugary goodness that Artemis put together. It really is the perfect ending to a satisfying meal. After a few more minutes of conversation, folks start to peel off. Theo gets up first to collect everyone's plates, firmly shooing Artemis away when he inevitably tries to help. The Blue Jay is the next bail, Ollie trailing close behind him, both of them engrossed in their phones. Hunter lets out a yawn and does a huge full body stretch, filling what seems like most of the kitchen with his arms. Think I might go lie down. Hunter nudges Rafi gently, but it looks like he's already fallen asleep in his chair, a soft, content smile on his puppy face. I'm headed upstairs. You coming? Rafi nods drowsily and gets up, playfully leaning on Hunter as they leave the table. Hunter calls back to the kitchen. Have a good night, y'all. Both Theo and I call back to him, sending him and Rafi off. Then Theo turns to me. You done with your plate phase? Oh, yeah, I think so. Do you want help with the dishes? Nope, not at all. I like doing them. It gives me time to think. You're free to entertain yourself however you wish. I'm giving you the rest of the night off. Theo chuckles at his own joke as he starts loading plates into the dishwasher. It's okay, Eric. I stand up slowly, feeling warm and pleasantly full. Outside, the wind howls and beats at the windows. The snow still hasn't stopped. I wasn't quite ready for bed, but it seemed like Rafi and Hunter were both calling it a night. That left Artemis and Ollie. I wonder what each of them is up to. Alright, that's actually a good spot. We're going to stop right here. We'll come back to this wonderful question. That's how we're going to start the next episode, will be with a question. But alrighty, I am going to log off. We're going to call it. Just as a reminder to everybody, next week I will not be doing a story time with FaZe as I will be traveling for work. But the following week we will be back. But the following week we will be back to our normal schedules. We'll be continuing the promises to keep story. But those of you who are going to be part of the question of the day, I will see you here in another 45 minutes for the question of the day. And we'll talk to you later. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much.